Hey everybody, welcome back to my 30 Minutes of Fame podcast. Today I have just another amazing guest with a really cool mission. I discovered him through a comment he left on a guest we had on Lisa Warren, who plays the harp, and Michael here is also a harpist. Is that what it's called? Harpist?
I'm a harpist, yes.
He is a harpist, and he has a really cool program you can see in the corner there. We'll get talking about that in just a moment, but Michael, welcome to my show.
Well, I'm so pleased to be with you, getting my 30 minutes of fame. Imagine that.
It's better than 15. We go for 30, so you never know.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
get a double blast there. Awesome. So glad to be on the show with you.
Now, there's a lot of fighting in the news going on between Canada and US, and Michael's based in the US. He was born in Canada, but I can promise you all there are no tariffs on this show. Um, 100% tariff free today only for the next 30 minutes. So, how long you been playing the harp? How did you discover that? Did you play anything else before?
Uh, That's a good question. Actually, I'm a classically trained pianist, and I've been doing music all my life. And I met my wife. I was the keyboard player in a band, and we did some traveling and television together. And it was been a good ride since. But it was about 25 years ago that I walked into a friend's place, and they'd come back from South America and brought back a Paraguayan harp. It was just sort of sitting in the corner, gathering dust. And so I walked over there and tuned it up a bit and plucked a few strings. And they saw me doing that, and they said, "Hey, Michael, why don't you just take this harp back with you and borrow it permanently?" And that was my start, actually, and it has since become my primary instrument. And as a classically trained musician, it was fairly easy for me to pick up. So I've never actually taken any lessons in my life, and here I am now, actually instructing people all over the world how to play this beautiful instrument.
So, Harps for Vets, how did that come about? How did you go from just learning to play the harp to wanting to teach
Oh,
it to veterans?
well, Harps for Vets is a project that's very near and dear to my heart. I know that harps have this powerful way of bringing peace to a person's soul. There's something actually very uh, physiological about it. They say that when a harp therapist will sit in a room where people are recovering from surgery and they'll play, then what happens is the outcome of their actual recovery is improved by 25%. That's just medical reality. And so I know that the harp has a powerful way of bringing healing to people. But what happened was when I was doing one of my harp schools, I had a veteran who was in my class. And at the end of the boot camp, sort of a week-long time where people learn how to play by ear, and they're actually able to play the harp by the end of the week. And it's a beautiful thing to just watch this transformation take place. She says to me, as a veteran, she says, Michael, all the time that I was here during the class, I was happy.
Mm.
I thought, wow, that's significant, that she would come and feel some measure of peace and relief from some of the, they call it PSTD, right? Post-traumatic PTSD. People, they come back from the battlefield feeling quite frayed sometimes. And it was my inspiration to say, hey, if that's how my student received such a value to it, then beyond just playing the harp and learning, then maybe we're onto something here. And so I began to formulate this program, Harps for Vets, where the whole idea is that we actually will take veterans and sit them down and teach them how to play the harp by ear. I have a curriculum that I've already put together for my regular harp school, but this is going to be tailor-made especially for veterans. And so I'm hoping to take this course that I'm developing, and I've already connected with the Veteran Center here in Kansas City, where I hang my hat. And they have said, hey, you can have a room and you can launch your program here. And so I am so thrilled to be able to start off the program here. We're going to record the lessons, and make them available online, and then facilitators in various veteran center across America can come and literally run the course, and the veterans can learn how to play the harp. And I'm imagining that it's going to bring a lot of therapeutic value to them, but also just the joy of, and the beauty of the harp will be something that will be a great addition to their lives. The whole idea is they take the course, and at the end of the course, we want to give them a harp. And so that would be a tremendous, something that will be added to their lives for the rest of their lives. So that's the vision of Harps for Vets.
Now, here's a thought that just went through my head. Let's say you've got six people, 6 to 10 people that have successfully completed the program. Like a year from now, when they're harp masters, they got like they're posting videos. What about getting them all together for a concert? That would be a one of a kind thing. All these.
Absolutely. Well, actually, what I've already done is I was invited to go to the VA National Arts Conference that they put on. It's an arts festival, and so I played my harp there, and many people in the leadership from the veterans organization approached me and said, "Wow, Michael, as soon as you've got your program up and running, I'm interested in having it here in our center." So I'm already got the ball rolling, and you know what? That's where we would definitely bring some of the students and have them play. Definitely do a concert that will, give them an opportunity to show off what they've learned.
I love it. So you've got a little video we'd want to play here, and then we can.
Absolutely. Well, people can go to my website harpsforvets.com, and when they go there, this video is available. But really, this imparts the vision of what we're doing. Here's the video. A debt of gratitude is owed to our heroic veterans, and we are honor bound to take care of those who have served. Many soldiers have returned from the battlefield distressed in their mind, soul, and spirit. That is why the Harps for Vets program is being developed for those in the armed forces who have served, particularly for those who are suffering from PTSD. In this program, we will be teaching vets to play the harp through in-person and online group lessons, bringing harmony to our heroes. The strategy is for the healed to become the healers, as the student will learn to use the curriculum that is currently under development to teach other vets. The program will also be acquiring harps for the veterans to learn on. Upon completion of the initial 12-week course, they will each be given a harp. A pilot program is being planned, but our objective is to record this initial set of classes so that it can be used in other centers across America. So there it is, Harps for Vets. People can go to my website, and so we are raising funds to help to actually purchase some harps, so that there will be harps to be learned on and eventually given to the students. And even as I'm developing the course, it's helping me to put that all together and pay for the expenses that are involved in that.
You know what's really cool? I've got some pretty close military friends. I used to run a kind of charity deal. Wasn't It started with Canadian soldiers were in Afghanistan, and they opened up a Tim Hortons coffee shop on the base in Afghanistan. And all these UN
That's
guys,
incredible.
American guys, they all got hooked on it, right?
Right
So
on, yeah.
a friend of mine was over. I'm like, "Are you paying for coffee?" And he's like, "Yeah, we pay." I'm like, "Not anymore, you don't." So I started up just a little movement like that, and people sent in these little gift certificates. And in the first year, we sent over $100,000 worth of free coffee. But then
Wow.
I met people that run the Guitar for Vets program here in Canada, and a few of my close friends have went through it. They're still playing guitar. One guy's just posting his new videos online. But there's 3 or 4 of them that get together once a month and just have a jam. All 4 guys with PTSD, and they're like, "Man, we cry. Like I'm not afraid to admit it. When we're done playing, we just sit there and look at each other, and like the tears are flowing." And he's like, "My guitar is right next to my bed. Like some people keep a gun or a pipe or something." He's like, "My guitar is right next to my bed because if I having an anxiety attack coming on, I can feel them coming. I pick up that and I just start strumming a couple chords and it's gone." Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's the power of
amazing
music,
the
right?
ability music has to do that. And yes, I'm glad you referenced Guitars for Vets. That's a program. I'm glad to hear that it's in Canada, but it's a very successful program all throughout North America. And what is so significant is that we're modeling our Harps for Vets program very much after that because they also give a guitar to the veteran who has gone through the program, and that I think is fantastic because you think of all the money that gets spent on therapy for people,
Mhm.
and just a little bit of music can go a long way to bringing healing to people. So what's amazing? There is a story that people are pretty familiar with, and a lot of people are thinking about King David these days, probably the most famous harpist of all. And he was a warrior. He was a king and a military, a commander of armies. This man knew how to fight a fight, and back then that was with swords. And everybody knows, of course, his fight against Goliath, right? So, but one thing that happened was the king of the day before David became king was very troubled. I don't know what issues he was facing in his life, but it was like he had his own set of demons that he was fighting, and they literally called David to come and play his harp for him. And it tells us in the story that when David played his harp, that would lift off of Saul. And so many people know that story and are familiar with that. But I have to tell you, there's a reality behind that is so powerful. Just the playing of the harp and the beauty of the sound of the instrument, and there's a spiritual dynamic there as well that people can tie into and get some healing. And so it is my intention to use the harp for that exact purpose. And I just, like my personal experience, whenever I've played my harp for people who are sick in their hospital beds or people who are emotionally troubled, that peace just sort of settles in on them. And I think there's something very powerful that people, there's the cliche, people think about harp playing kind of as a heavenly thing. Well, I'd have to agree with the cliche because there's something heavenly about the sound of a harp.
It's I call it a pure soul massage. I remember I went to a Christmas concert, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and my favorite Christmas song is "Oh Holy Night," and it always
Yeah.
makes me emotional. I can't even listen. Sometimes I gotta leave the room. But we're at this Christmas concert, and this lady comes out with this white giant harp, just sits down, plays "Oh Holy Night," and the whole place was just stunned. Like you could feel something in that room,
Yeah,
and
the atmosphere literally
beautiful.
changes. I know that to be true.
And I mean, I've heard Chris Cornell at a concert with 3 hours with nothing but him and his guitar, and the harp. "Oh Holy Night" still takes that out as my most memorable music moment of probably my entire life.
There's something sonically amazing about the harp that people do associate with heaven. It's a cliche, but there are many scriptures in the Bible that refer to the harp, and some of them are taken right from out of a scene, sort of a snapshot of around the throne of God, and it says literally that they are playing harps and collecting people's prayers in golden bowls, and so something very transcendent is going on when the harp is being played,
Mhm.
and it is my intention to give that experience to many people, especially the veterans who really, they deserve our support, and they've often, given their all, and the playing of the harp is something that they can walk away with as something that will bring some solace to them. I'm absolutely sure of that.
So I'm just curious, what's the average starting price for a harp, like for the program?
Okay, you're looking around $1,200 US. And so, yeah, we are trying to raise. People can sponsor a vet for a harp. Actually, just go to my website, and it's available to just help us to make this happen for people. So, that's the thing is harps are a bit more expensive than a guitar. I mean, you can spend that much money on a really good guitar,
Hmm.
but guitars in general are a bit cheaper for people to get into. But we are wanting them to have a good quality instrument for my harp schools, I insist on a special type of harp. I'll show you my harp, actually. It has levers on it. So each string has a lever that allows you to change the key of the instrument so that you can be in different keys that you're playing in. And that's part of my training. I explain how to use these levers. And it's something that people will learn about. And it just gives you a little bit more flexibility. And that's part of the cost of the instrument. You can get a cheaper harp, but without the levers, you're sort of stuck in one key. And it is definitely the better way to go. So, it's my desire that people will have a quality instrument that they'll be able to play on. So that is your rough cost of it. So there you go.
Beautiful. Well, now that you have it in your arms, we'd love to hear you play a song or two on it. And I'm gonna hide my video and put you full screen and give you the.
All right. We'll be glad to do that. This song is a song that's very well known in the military. There's been more than one military movie that has had this song. It's called The Minstrel Boy. The minstrel boy to the war is gone. In the ranks of death you will find him. His father's sword he has girded on, and his wild harp slung behind him. Land of song, said the warrior bard, though all the world betrays thee, one sword at least thy rights shall guard, one faithful harp shall praise thee. The minstrel fell, but the foeman's chain could not bring that proud soul under. The harp he'd loved ne'er spoke again, for he tore its cords asunder. Thou soul of love and bravery, thy songs were made for pure and free. The songs were made for the pure and free. They shall never sound in slavery. The minstrel boy will return, we pray. When we hear the news, we shall cheer it. The minstrel boy will return one day, torn perhaps in body, not in spirit. Then may he play on his harp in peace, in a world as such as heaven intended. For all the bitterness of man must cease, and every battle must be ended.
Wow.
That's the perfect, military song. I think a lot of warriors out there, they are fighting a just battle and helping folks out who are under tyranny. There's lots going on in the news these days, and I think the heart of a warrior is to bring some good to people who are suffering, and to bring them freedom. So there you go.
I love it. I'd love to have you play one more. I'll keep you on the full screen here, and I'll mute myself up again, and just whatever you like to play. I don't know
Okay.
if you ever get any crazy requests online. Hey, can you play like an AC/DC cover or Ozzy Osbourne?
Well, it's funny. I certainly have had my share of requests. I played in a Latin jazz group for 10 years in the Toronto area, and you get a chance to talk to a lot of great people. But here's a song from Coldplay, a very well-known melody. It's Clocks.
actually, I took a picture. The hairs are just standing up my arms. That was goosebumps like crazy. Wow, unreal, man. Just is that
Yeah,
like
you
the
can really
same?
feel, you can feel the beauty of that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Coldplay live. I wasn't, with anyone from HR, so I was safe. But
That's good. That's
oh
good.
man, that was beautiful. So you've traveled all over the world playing
I
harp.
have.
Some of the stories you shared me on the phone before, just what's the most memorable
Definitely,
experience there?
my harp schools have been held all over the world, especially in Israel. Why Israel? Well, of course, that's where King David instigated his playing of the harp, and he hired, I think, thousands of musicians, literally, to play the harp and to sing and to, their motivation was to glorify God with their harp playing, and it started off if you remember the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark. David brought that golden box with the angels on top of it back into Jerusalem, and normally that box was meant just behind the veils, and just one priest got a chance to go in there once a year, and the Day of Atonement called Yom Kippur in Israel. That was a special item. But David broke all the rules and put that thing right out where all the priests had access to it, and he put it in his own tent. They call that David's tabernacle, and so it was this amazing moment where all the Levites were playing their harps in front of that, and just bringing this amazing sound to planet Earth. And it was kind of like a spiritual portal, a focal point on Earth where that playing of the harp was taking place. And so I kind of modeled myself after that. Actually, they had a school where they taught these guys how to play the harp, so they were very skilled and proficient. And so my school is modeled after that. And so I've done a lot of harp schools there, and it's an amazing thing because we always do outdoor concerts after they've received a bit of training, and the crowds gather around the streets, and we've had a couple of hundred people hanging out listening to the harpists playing their harps. And there's actually a prophecy that says that when the harp reappears in Jerusalem, that the Messiah is coming soon. That's what the Orthodox believe. So when we bring our harps out to this outside there, many people are amazed and wondering what's going on. But I've taught harp schools in Singapore. I had about 50 students there, and many of my students have taken my training there, and it went to other organizations within Asia, and those organizations are playing the harp and they're manufacturing their own harp. So I got the ball rolling with them. So now probably you could say that hundreds of people are playing the harp around the world as a result of my harp schools that I've done. One of the most precious things I've got a chance to do, though, was I went to Guatemala, and there is a school for I would call them poor underprivileged kids there. And they said, "Hey, Michael, could you come down and teach our kids to play the harp?" I said, "Sure." They provided me a place to stay down there, and we raised the funds to donate a dozen harps to this school. And they had an excellent music program. And even though they were poor, we were able to donate the harps, and those harps are now being used year after year, and the kids are learning how to play. And I've heard they do outdoor concerts as well, and draw quite a crowd to when you see a dozen harps being played by young people. Very precious. And so that's the kind of thing I've been doing with my harping. It's not kind of like I just have my own little harp lessons being given to a handful of people. I've tried to scale up a bit, and try to bring the beautiful sound of the harp. The old song, "I'd like to teach the world to sing."
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing that.
Wow. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Watado Children's Choir.
Yes, I have
They,
seen them actually. Yeah, they're
they
wonderful.
they came to my little town here in the summer, and then I had them on my show. A couple of the singers and they were guests just when I first started. But that's what it reminds me of. Music is just so powerful, and to see their faces, to hear them singing, and these kids come from nothing. But I'm just visioning them, having a harp on stage for a song, getting one of those kids with the harp lessons or with the Watado children. I don't know. I have all these visions and missions popping in my head. Just
Well, the teaching of music in all kinds of settings is beautiful, and it seems to be a mechanism by which you might say diplomacy can be exported. The beauty of the sound of the harp and people playing all around the world. Like I said, there is a spiritual component to it that if people are interested in that part of it, yeah, even for the Harps for Vets, I it's not primarily a religious program by any means, but there is a sort of a secondary track if people are interested in learning more about the healing that can come through connecting with God. I know many people, they've gone through Alcoholics Anonymous, and they're familiar with this higher power that they connect with that really helps them to get healed. I know that's a reality, and that organization does great things. Just pointing people in the right direction, and so there's a certain element of that will be a part of the Harps for Vets program, but people certainly can join it regardless of their beliefs. But I really think that some of that's going to sink in and be a part of the healing process in many people's lives as they choose to just find out more about the heavenly side of the harp.
I love it. Now you're based in Kansas City, right? In that area. And
Yes,
I
I am.
know there's two pretty famous people from that town that when this episode is up, I'm gonna tag them in it and say, hey, you guys want to donate some harps to this program? And I won't harp on it too long, but
Well,
I was
you
going to
know
make
what?
that joke.
I know that the Guitars for Vets program has been very well, recognized, especially by some rather famous musicians. Not naming any names, I know that various harp manufacturers or sorry, guitar manufacturers are very keen to see their instruments in the hands of veterans having experienced the power of music, and a lot of generosity out there as far as the guitars are concerned. And so I know that you and I, we talked a little bit about how there has been some great philanthropy within the guitar community and the manufacturers themselves. So I say, if music be the food of love, play on, right?
Well, you know what? There's a company in Calgary. Well, they're a Canadian-wide company, Long and McQuaid. You probably heard of them.
Oh
Um,
yeah, no, I've spent a few dollars with them.
so they partnered up with that Guitars for Vets Canada program, and anyone that had an old guitar sitting around that they wanted to bring and donate, they would refurbish it, fix it up, put brand new strings on it, fix the necks for nothing, and then give it to that program.
Wow, that's awesome. That's
It'd
awesome.
be a little harder with
Well,
harps because not everyone's got a harp sitting in their closet. But
yeah, harps are a bit more rare, and the truth is, one of my missions in life is to make it less rare. So that there'll be more and more people using harps and getting the benefit of it. So yeah, we're trying to raise some funds to get some harps, and then initially use those harps for the lessons, and then as people finish the program, just pass that harp on to them. So I know that it's a significant investment. It's like a high end guitar, right? But the levers that are on it and the quality of the instrument is important, because anything I'm sure you've played some pretty crummy guitars, and it's just not inspiring to play it.
no, I had the music director from my church. He's like, listen, I've got this old guitar just sitting around. I want it to go to a really good home. And I hadn't played guitar at that point in over 15 years because I was too busy getting drunk and being stupid. And so he gave me this guitar. I don't know the brand name on it. It's over in the corner, but it's like a 11, $1,200 guitar. And
Uh,
I've had this thing 6 months and it hasn't gone out of tune. I've never seen anything like it. I've never had to
wow.
tune it. You know, a couple of little adjustments here, but I played guitar. They had a church concert. This was about 6 months ago. My girlfriend convinced me to do it and like, go play a song and sing. And I had never performed in front of people sober. And it was the most terrifying but rewarding thing in my life. Like that day has changed me in the last 6 months. As far as like confidence, my leg was shaking. I almost fell off the chair. I messed up a couple times. Nobody noticed, but it was just powerful, man. And it's one of those once in a lifetime kind of things. Like I used to go to karaoke and drink. I'd have to drink like 10 pitchers of beer to be able to get up in front of sing in front of people. And so anything is possible. If you're watching this, if you're struggling, if you get in contact with Michael, you could end up coming on my show and playing the harp.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Wouldn't
Well,
that be cool to get?
everyone. Well, we'll do a follow-up episode when things have moved along. We have a few students who've played. Maybe we'll get you some video footage of that. Hey, there's one more video that I haven't shown you yet.
Yes.
I am the inventor of a new electronic harp, and it's called the Harpella. And here is just a short clip that you can see. It's a beautiful instrument. It's made out of clear acrylic and lights up with the colors of the rainbow. So this is a little video clip of just a person who it was their birthday. Actually, I like to play my harp over people when it's their birthday and just bless them. So here's the Harpella, and I think it speaks for itself. Just give it a look here. There's just a little taste of that. So
Wow. That's
it's beautiful, very beautiful. You can see that the colors change. Actually, the lighting that happened to be going on at that moment showed exactly what was the colors that were on the harp that was being played. So that was kind of an amazing moment. That was all spontaneous, by the way. I didn't pre set that up in advance or anything. So.
with the dancer. That was no. That was
Yeah, the dancer. It was her birthday, and I would just literally just wanted to bless her on her
wow.
birthday. And when I did that, her husband was a videographer, and he said, "Wait, wait, wait!" So he pulls out the camera and starts shooting. Right, so he edited it all together for me. So that's the Harpella. If anybody wants to check that out, they can go to harptronics@gmail.com or .com, harptronics.com. They can see that. I don't have a web page to bring that up for you, but harptronics.com, you can see the this beautiful harp. So once again, just another way for me to spread the beauty of the harp and in a very creative way.
Amazing, man. I I really want to see this succeed. I'm gonna pump my brain into this episode how to get to as many people as possible and get those men and women some harps. I've got one more silly question. That's how I end all my episodes for you, and then we'll
Sure.
we'll call it a day. Um, You can use your harp. I'm going to allow you to use your harp for this question if needed, but a 100-meter pigeon carrying contest. How many pigeons could you fit in your arms or on your harp and have at the end of the 100 meters?
I don't quite get what you're asking. If am I supposed to carry these pigeons?
Yes, the pigeon
Carrier
carrying
pigeons?
contest. In your arms,
Okay.
figured you could fit a lot on that harp if you had your harp in your.
Well, the harp could carry quite a few. I imagine I could probably get maybe a 50, 60. That would be quite the scene. And maybe AI could show me carrying these carrier pigeons right on my harp, and the strings right. They could all, you know, put their feet on the maybe 100, right? Maybe 100
Oh,
because that the harp could. I could probably do a lot more than most of your guests because of my instrument, right?
well,
Probably the most well-suited instrument for that.
the 100 will put you in about third place at about 73 episodes. So that's pretty.
Okay, well there you go. Well, with the harp and everything, I think that's possible. That's a great question.
I have some pretty serious episodes on here, like recovery, addiction, all this. So it's just my way of just ending the show with a laugh.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well,
Well,
well, I hope folks will check into Harps for Vets and do some good and help out some veterans get some healing and learn how to play the harp.
yeah, I'll put that link in the description. I'll put a link to your TikTok if people want to just check out your music, which is all video, amazing video clips. Happy belated birthday. I know your birthday was a couple days ago.
That's right. Yeah.
And you didn't dance around for someone playing the harp on your birthday, did you? No.
No, no one was. Well, actually, you know what? It just so happened that my birthday was during a rehearsal where I normally have my guys play a harp. If people go to my YouTube channel, you can go to michael-david.com, and if you go to the bottom of the homepage, there's a YouTube channel. You click on that every Friday nights at 7 o'clock Central Time. I have a couple other guys who are my students. They happen to be named David, both of them. And so my handle is Michael-David, right? So we call ourselves the Three Davids. And
Oh,
people
wow.
can watch us do a 1 hour set every week, except for the first Fridays of every month. But generally speaking, there's a YouTube live broadcast that they can see the three of us playing our harps live, and that's at michael-david.com. That's my website, and at the bottom of the page, there's a YouTube link that you can go to and watch us play live every week.
Beautiful. I may have to come check that out. And then you have three Davids and a Dave.
That's
That's a
me.
whole lot of Daves going on there. Well, thanks for coming on with me. Keep what you're doing. It's amazing. And anyone watching, check out all the links in the description. I'll put all these websites, Michael's YouTube, TikTok. Um, and yeah, just say one nice thing to someone today, every day. It'll just change your life. And I've been doing it since New Year's, and I can plan to keep doing it the entire year. But
That's awesome. Well, thanks for having me on the show, Dave.
awesome.